Man, it's
live.
well, there it is. We're live. What are you doing, Jennifer
Nothing.
Lacey?
You just told me to like pop on somewhere, and I feel like we're popped on more than just right here in front of each other.
Yeah, but you know, I did better. I'm being restrained. It must be the illness I've been fighting. I
Okay.
didn't just hit go live like I normally
You
do.
did it. You got. We had a little bit of prep, having no idea what we're talking about, but we had a little bit of prep.
Well, I think it's because you trust me.
That would be true, and that's an important topic.
Yeah, yeah. So tomorrow, let's see who's out. What all you people
What do
out there
you?
in the Omniverse? We're back doing the pop up. Oh, look at that. Adam says, "God, yeah."
Oh, and we got Armando.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Armando, what in the world? Back from the dead. He said, I trust y'all didn't just pop up just now. That's exactly what we're doing just now, popping up. Um, Getting ready for our show tomorrow, man. Glad to see. Like, yeah, people are out
What
there.
are we
Folks,
going to
if
talk
you're out
about
there.
tomorrow, Jess? What's tomorrow about?
Well, you know, because I'm an expert relationship guru, that also makes me an expert on trust.
Okay.
So I'm full of it, but we are going to talk about
Very
trust
much.
tomorrow. What do you think? What do you think that's going to go? Oh, look at it. Look at Adams says, why trust? Why now?
Because okay, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about feedback. Like
Yep.
for the last, several sessions, we've been talking about feedback and building upon that. And then in the after party last week, some of the elements of feedback and how do you get good feedback, and how do you go into a conversation and is where trust is and where trust isn't.
Yep.
And so we went down that rabbit hole, and then we said, ooh, let's take a step back. Because yes, trust is important in that feedback conversation, but it's also important in a lot of other conversations.
Oh my God, it's so huge, right? Like this could turn into a whole other side series, off series. But yeah, that was it. Like during the live stream, I remember some of the comments were like, "Yeah, you can get great feedback, but how do you like? You kind of got to earn that spot to be able to give
Ooh.
meaningful feedback." And like, how do you earn that spot, and how do you decide? And then, like you said, the after party was a lot of it. For what I was hearing in my ears was trust, trust,
Yeah.
trust. I said, man, you know what? Let's just talk about trust.
Yeah,
Uh,
because you and I've had this conversation offline on just different levels of trust and different layers of trust, but also the way we approach people sometimes is a little different than the norm on
yeah,
when we meet people. And I'm not going to give all that away because that you have to come tomorrow morning and watch. But
yeah,
like we approach people a little different than most than the I guess the norm of what when you're talking about trust and you go into a new connection or a new relationship. So we'll have to wait and see what that's about.
yeah. I'm excited to hear where people are at on
Yes,
that
yes.
question. Like, which side of the
The
fence are you
spectrum.
on?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. This is somebody I
Pew,
trust.
pew, pew. Hi, buddy.
Mr. Buddy Bradley, happy Friday. Oh, and Buddy, Kirby says hi. If she failed to reach out to you, I texted her and gave her a little guilt trip, but I don't know if it worked. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I when I posted the thing after I hand drew the thumbnail image,
Yes, I'm sorry.
right? It was
So much effort.
charcoal, and I drew it with my left hand because that's how talented I am. Um, the Megan Shapiro comment is like, "Oh my God, this is
Gonna
ew."
be good.
So I'm expecting. You know what I really think is going to happen is a bunch of people are going to watch. I don't think a lot of people are going to comment because it's a very
scary.
right. Like I mean, hell, you and I started talking about it today, and then it turned into.
Oh
Like,
yeah, now and then, but it like we're not digging into forgiveness tomorrow, but where does forgiveness play in the trust conversation? Like there's just so many elements to think to this topic.
oh God, there's so much. And so, but back to like really clearly answer Adam's question, because I think trust is a huge factor in this whole feedback conversation that we've been having. And then if we expand a little bit more, it's a tremendous factor in communication, right?
Yeah.
In the depth that we will communicate. I mean, that I think about in certain organizations or certain teams that I've been on. I shouldn't say organizations, because all of everywhere I've worked and spent time where people work, there's beautiful spots, right? There's spots of like, man, this is amazing. And then there's spots of like, there's some brujeria going on here. Like, there's a problem. And it's trust, right? For me, it's like, oh, trust is low. But when trust is rich, man, the type of things that they can work through and the creativity and all that other stuff really, really comes through.
Like, what does trust look like, and how do you earn it? Like, those are things that have come up in some of our conversations. And so we're like, oh, let's dig into this a little bit.
Yeah. I think it's going to be good. I think we'll have a good time.
I think we're going to get I think people are going to contribute. It is a scary topic, and it can go in a lot of different ways. And I'm going to tell you, I'm one of them that some people are jaded by trust. That, some previous, whether it's relationships or been burned, or people that, just, were deceitful and weren't nice. I mean, all of us, I think, have those stories.
Sure.
But I also, and so sometimes when we talk about trust, people jump to some certain definition in their head of what that means. And so I think we're going to try to peel back some of those layers tomorrow.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing, right? Is we jump to these polarized perspectives or definitions of it.
Yes.
And then we generally like, ugh. But when we started, and it happened on our conversation, we start getting at like, okay, let's talk about this instance.
Yes.
All of a sudden, those black and white lines, maybe.
Like, it's like always. Oh, well, maybe not always.
Right. All the time, 100. Well, except for that one time.
Yes.
And I think what I hope to achieve is people building some awareness about maybe some maladapted mental models around like what trust is. And like the question is, how do you cultivate and maintain trust? And I think we all have different approaches to that, but I think naturally people are going to lean towards why they don't trust.
Right. Which is great that you and I are talking about it, because we've touched on trust throughout the last couple of years of just the live streams, on just the level of trust that we have to have for each other. And also, as we're talking about some not so fun things sometimes.
Yes, 100%. I mean, like, you can trust me to just sound brilliant on any podcast interview I'm on. So.
and throw people under the bus all the time.
I love it. So I'm wondering, like, we got the Armando
crew out there.
Yeah, Adam, buddy, what are y'all thinking about trust? Like, is this going to be a worthwhile conversation, or are you just like not interested in it? Like, whatever.
Or are you going to contribute? Or are you going to sit back and just hang out and watch?
Ooh, y'all just going to be lurkers. Who knows? Let's see if they come back and reply.
They're already like, uh-oh.
Armando's out there on the bus. It's good. Even Drew, he got his little buzz thingy in there. Oh man, yeah, it should be good. And also, like, just to build some anticipation, we're gonna be getting some input from about the next retreat, the next reciprocal propulsion retreat. So be there if you want to weigh in on where
it's going to be.
Where should it be? Well, just hint is we are going to be on the West Coast.
Yes.
And then we'll give the rest of the details mañana in the mañana.
Yes. And what time is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow, 8 a.m. Central,
yes.
9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. And you know what's awesome is like Megan, Lance. Ooh, I know I'm going to miss some people, but there's several people that are on the West Coast that show up at 6 o'clock in the morning and
Yes.
contribute to the experience. So shout out to the West Coasters that are getting up extra early for it, and then everybody else. Like, it's super awesome.
I mean, people like not even in this country.
Yeah, like international, man. It still blows my mind. Like, man, that's so awesome. So I don't know. Should we also like talk about this new feature that we're going to be adding to emotional bungee jumpers? Or is it too early?
I think it's a draw. I think we absolutely have to talk about it because it may get people to go, "Ooh, I need to know more about that."
Yeah. Okay. I'll make sure I add it to the finely detailed agenda I've already sent you, Jenna.
Get the visual in there, Jesse. That's all that matters.
Yeah. No, we're gonna be good. So yeah, 8 o'clock in the morning. Then we'll have the after party. Look at Adam who said no comment.
Come with all your fun questions and all of your, some of those things that maybe aren't so comfortable.
Yes. The Tuna Man saying it's tough to be vulnerable. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like,
yes.
And I think that's reasonable, right? Like, it's reasonable for people to be guarded when trust is low. And so then, I think I get a lot of feedback of my approachability. And I think Adams actually directly said this to me. He's like, it's because I know you won't judge me. And then, like, the backstory to that is because I've been a terrible, horrible dirtbag. So I really can't judge anybody. And I think that helps people be. So it's not to say that you have to be a dirtbag to be trustworthy, but it's helped me.
But it helps to some of that self-reflection of, am I in a place to judge? Because I think sometimes we don't stop and have that, like, ask ourselves that question before we like have an opinion about something.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Yeah. The opinion that we think we cloak as feedback.
Yes.
So okay, I'm excited.
Yes.
I know we've got a lot of cliffhangers because Adam texted me earlier today. He loves the cliffhangers on the podcast. So we had to do some more today. And we'll get started tomorrow first thing in the morning. Well, not first thing, but 8 a.m. Central. Yes. We'll see you there.
Be ready. Be ready to contribute.
Yes. Ask the questions. Share your experiences. Share your cheat codes. Right. And connect with all the people.
Yes, that's the big thing. That's the biggest thing.
Totally. All right, girl. We'll see you in the morning.
Okay. Sounds good.
No BS tribe. Y'all be cool.
Yes.